welcome to February. And we are starting with the wedding ring syndrome. I love weddings. I've been marrying people for 20 years, 20 plus years, since I was ordained. Weddings are fun because if you've ever been around anybody that's getting married, they get so into the details. And if it isn't the bride, it is true. Even with Shay. And y'all, if it isn't the bride, it's the groom.
Oh, yeah.
Believe it or not.
You was worse than me.
One of them will be so into the flowers, the staging, the who's reading what, who's invited, are they standing, what's happening, what's being served. I mean, so much energy and focus and attention goes to the details. To the details. Everything has to be perfect. So why do you suppose our brides and or grooms are so attached to the details? This is the moment that they are saying yes to a life partner. This is the moment that they are aligning their lives with someone else. You know, no matter how hard they work on the vows, and they work on vows really diligently, because, you know, we need to say exactly what we mean. But no matter what is said, it all boils down to 3 vows. And this is what it says. I am going to make you more important than matter. Do we not say that? Everybody that's married knows you do say that.
Oh, yeah.
I am going to make you more important than matter. The second vow. I am going to make you more important than my fears. That's what we're saying. The third. I am going to make your needs equal to my own. Some of you forgot that one? That's what it boils down to. You are more important than anything in the physical world. I will not be afraid when I am with you. You are more important than my fears. And I will care about what you care about. What you need will be equal to my needs. And that's where we stand with our partner. We make these vows to one another, and it becomes a very sacred and treasured moment. And what do you think all of the people that were invited focus on? Did the flowers come out right? Do they look at the train as you walk down the aisle? Do they look at all the pristine details that were so diligently cared for? No, they don't. And if you've been to any wedding, which of course I've been to quite a few, they always go sideways. Something that is so important to the bride always goes sideways. And guess who cares? Nobody, not even the bride. All the people feel that are in attendance is the energy. They feel this beautiful moment when energy is coming up between 2 hearts, and we know exactly what lies ahead of them, and we know exactly what they're saying to one another, and we know exactly how they feel in that moment. And we feel their joy, because it is a beautiful moment of an energy of love. And nothing matters. Did the cake taste right? Nothing matters but that moment. And you all know. Say, I agree.
I agree.
All right. So I went into the Aquarian to see what Jesus said about marriage, so I want to share this with you. Hang with me. Okay. In chapter 30, this is when he turns the water into wine. Well, chapter 70, I'm sorry. That's chapter 7. Jesus said, there is no tie more sacred than the marriage tie. The chain that binds 2 souls in love is made in heaven, and man can never sever it in 2. The lower passions of the 2 may cause a union, but it is a union as water and wine. the lower passions, if you're going just for the lower passions of it all. And then a priest may forge a chain and bind the two. But this is not a genuine marriage. It is a counterfeit. And then he said in chapter 98. And they're always asking him, talk to us about marriage. He said, marriage is, in the sight of law, is a promise made by a man and a woman, sanctioned by a priest, to live in harmony and love. No priest nor officer has the power from God to bind two souls in wedded love. What is the marriage tie? Is it comprised in what a priest or officer may say? Is it on a scroll on which the officer or priest has written permission? Is it the promise of the two that they will love each other until death? Is love a passion that is subject to the will of man? Can man pick up his love as he would pick up precious gems and lay it down or give it out to anyone? Can love be bought and sold like sheep? Love is the power of God that binds two souls and makes them one. There is no power on earth that can dissolve that bond. The bodies may be forced apart by man or death for just a little time, but they will meet again. Now in this bond of God we find the marriage tie. Isn't that beautiful? It is a spiritual energy, a spiritual union where your souls find each other. And when I'm doing a metaphysical marriage ceremony, I will use the scripture about being separated at death. You will find each other in another life. You'll find each other. If there is a love bond and you can walk with one another and accomplish your soul's mission, you'll find each other. That's the energy of marriage. It is an energy of spirit. Spirit is a part of everything. Can you guys feel it?
Yes.
All right. So, did I read 143? I don't think I did. Let me read 143. Because his disciples say to him, is nobody married then? This is a tough act here. Here we go. Men cannot make a law to bind two hearts. When they are bound in love, they have no thought of lust. The woman cannot leave the man, and the man has no desire to send his wife away. Again, the spiritual connection. And then one of the disciples said, well, Lord, does that mean that there are very few people married in the holy bonds? And Jesus said to them, God knows the hearts. We don't. We know those that are bound together by love and those that have been bound together by other things. So we don't stand as judge for that. We just want to make the intention to be a spiritual union. I'm paraphrasing what he said. And that was in chapter 143. Okay. So we can see the spirit behind it all. We can see the beautiful energy of intention. But even in these beautiful unions that we experience today, where we know those souls are coming together, we know they're drawn to one another, we know that they have loved each other before, have we not also seen those marriages break down? Yes. The marriages break down. And what happens is the eye goes from the spirit to matter. And the vows that they live under become different. And they sound more like this. Excuse me. Matter's more important than you, dude. Excuse me, lady. I'll be the guy now. You are spending way too much money, and matter is more important than you are. Okay? Nice vow. We live under it. The other vow becomes, I'm afraid of you. I'm afraid of you. I've given you my power and I'm afraid of you now. And then it becomes, my needs are more important than yours. Excuse me? My needs are more important. I'm not getting my needs met here. Hello? All right. Everybody went from yay to this.
It brought back memories.
Memories, okay. He said memories from yesterday. I'm going to hear it. So let's look at I see your spirit, I'm looking at matter. I see your spirit, I'm looking at matter. Do you see the difference? Okay. When we move from spirit to matter, it changes everything. If you were looking at your beloved through the eyes of matter in the beginning, you would not marry them. You would not marry them because you would have this whole list of things of matter requirements. Pop, 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 fail, 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 fail. Carry on. You wouldn't marry them. There would be no mystical union. And how often have people said to you when you're walking with someone that you care for, what do you see in them? Has nobody had that experience? What do you see in them? I don't see it. And you have to go, oh, I've got my starry eyes. I'm looking at them through spirit. And they're perfect for me. They're perfect for my soul. They're perfect for my experiences on the earth plane. Perfect for me. Can you feel the difference? Okay. When Spirit gave me this message, and they asked me to do this a couple of months ago, I said, okay, I wrote it down. We're in February, so it's time. They said, when you first are married, you look at each other and you consider their feelings and their desires. You think about one another, even to the point of when you're going to the grocery store. Oh, they like this for dinner, or they like that for dinner, or I will do this or that. We have them on our mind. Our choices and our decisions are always based on them. Hey, can you go out and party tonight? Well, let me check with my beloved, and I'll get back with you on that. Because now and I may call back and say, no, we can go party, but beloved wants to come with. You see? We always think about them. Am I getting home? The single man shakes his head. We always think about them. We think about, are they a part of this? How shall I do this? Do you understand what I'm saying? Okay. So, how will this affect my partner? You face the challenges together, you enjoy the fruits of life together, and the labors together, and you become co-creators as long as you see each other in spirit. We are spirit, and spirit creates matter. When God gave me this message, the very simple question that I was asked was, what if we conducted our relationship with God as if we were first married? What if we had the thought, as we make any choice, how does this affect the plan for God? How does this affect my spirit? Does God really want me to do this? Is this going to affect how I take my light into the world? What if every thought we had included that spiritual presence? How would our lives be different? You would develop an intimacy with God. Rather than a meditation, I'm out of here, see you later, high five, God. You might do that in the morning. Okay, God, I'm down here. Poof. Guide me if I make a mistake. Here I go. And I live my choices till I come back at the end of the day, do my prayers. Oh, God, clear me from anything I did in error. Talk to you in the morning. That's not walking with. That's not having that intimate that we have when we are in that first sweet space of marriage. And I don't care how long you're together, that sweet space of always considering them is still with you. Sometimes you consider it a burden that you have to calm down, but it's still with you in your energy field. What if we loved God and considered that everything that we did has an effect on Him? We consider everything that we do has an effect on our spouse, our beloved. We do consider that, do we not? What if we consider that everything that we do has an effect on the greater world? Has an effect on how I'm taking God out into the world? Now, God is not a being that's going to react to us, but God is an energy we are in relationship with. And if you need to think of Him as a being to get Him present in your mind, He, she, it, wherever you call God, go ahead. I think that's great. As long as it puts it in your brain. That there is a Creator that I'm working with. There is a Creator I'm working with. Okay? We have wedding rings to remind us of the person that we have vowed to walk with. Do you ever look at yours? Yeah. That's not one, by the way. You look at them, you check them out. Do we have a symbol that we put in our world to remind us of our relationship with God? Do we have anything in matter that we have in our world to remind us of our relationship with God? A lot of faiths teach you to do that. You know, the rosaries, the crosses. We have no stigma, particularly in metaphysical Christianity. But is there anything in your world that you could add that would invite you to think about God? You know, just like when we walk in on this Sunday morning, Juanita was playing beautiful music, no matter where you came from, rocking it out in your car on the way in, the minute you hear her playing, oh, that's got a heavenly tone to it. We move into that spiritual space. But I want you just to be with that, and you can look around your world, just kind of be with that. And with metaphysical Christianity, there would be no one symbol, because we are all unique and different. Maybe for one person it's a mailbox angel. Stick that on your wall. See that after you've done your prayer and meditation for the morning. You'll see it throughout the day. Maybe it's a beautiful emblem or a piece of jewelry. We just don't know. But if we looked at our relationship with God, let's look at what those vows would look like. Are you ready? Okay. Instead of, in the beginning, I'm going to make you more important than matter, the vow we make to our beloved, the vow we make to God would sound like, I will remember that with you I create matter. With you I create matter. Human, I'm going to make you more important than my fears. With God we would say, I will stay in your spirit where there is no fear. Do you feel that? Mm-hmm. And the human, I'm going to make your needs equal to my own. And with God, when I am one with you, I am spirit. All needs are met, desires fulfilled, and I express divinity. I needed more words for that one. When I am one with you, I am spirit. All needs are met, all desires fulfilled, and I express divinity. That is the relationship with God. That is when God is nearer than hands and feet. God is in every breath we take. God is in everything we express. That is when God becomes conscious. Conscious in every moment. I'm going to read them again. Just read them in. I will remember with you I create matter. I will stay in your spirit where there is no fear. When I am one with you, I am spirit. All needs are met, desires fulfilled, and I express divinity. And take a breath. How did that feel, just letting those words go into your body? Okay. In order to maintain your marriage in a loving spiritual relationship, you have to keep your eyes on spirit. You have to keep your eyes on spirit. In order to maintain love in your relationship with God, you have to keep your eyes on spirit. The minute our eye drags to matter, we have separated from the magic that brought us there. And the minute our eye drags to matter, we define ourselves by the matter we have created, and we disconnect from the potential that lies ahead of us. The minute we look at matter, we have defined ourselves by what is, instead of what can be, because what can be lies in spirit. Make sense? The wedding ring. The wedding ring is a beautiful symbol of spiritual commitment. And yet, how material are our wedding rings? Do we buy the most beautifully spiritually cultivated symbol? Or do we look for that piece of jewelry that says, yeah, I'm loved. Lots of money went into this. This is the biggest and best. This is the highest quality. This is a diamond or an emerald or a sapphire, whatever your choice might be, that demonstrates worldly Do you see? The wedding ring. The ring that symbolizes spiritual commitment has such a material aspect to it as well. And the minute you buy that ring, you know its value, it's appraised at this amount of money. You know the minute you put it on your finger, the value goes down. You can never sell it for what you bought it for. You understand? That, my friends, is the wedding ring syndrome. It represents a spiritual commitment and is immediately bathed in matter. And that's what we have to watch with God. We want that beautiful relationship with God, that spiritual relationship with God, and then we turn our eyes to matter. Have you ever gotten mad at God because your matter's not what you want? Mad at you, God. You said you'd take care of me. Although I've been doing it all on my own anyway. I'm now mad at you for not showing up for me. You know? That's the dichotomy that we live in. Loving the Spirit and then standing on the energy of Spirit to bring us anything we need to co-create matter, to have the experience we choose in matter. In matter. And I love when you have beautiful rings. I love your rings. Trust me, I love your rings. I love beautiful rings. They're just fabulous. But you should love your rings. And it shouldn't be because of a dollar sign is attached to it. It should be because that ring was put on your finger by someone who adores your spirit and someone who loves your spirit. Do you see? That should be what that represents. And if that can represent that to you, find something in your world of matter that could represent God. I wear a cross quite often. I love my cross. Patrick gave it to me many years ago. If I'm not wearing something else, I'll have it on. I touch it all the time. Hey, God. Doesn't mean anything but that to me. It's a beautiful touchstone where I can just, in that moment, connect with Spirit when my brain is all busy. You see? But again, the challenge that we all face. Spirit, I love you. Now I'm looking at matter. The challenge is to keep the eye up at Spirit. February for Inner Quest Church is the month of understanding matter. Okay? So we're going to go from this point forward throughout the month, understanding how we deal with it, how we create it, how it reflects us. But we wanted to start with this. Perhaps if we can begin our walk during February by making God our partner, making God as our beloved, then the rest of the energy of understanding matter will come effortlessly. Is everybody ready? Yes. All right, let's go with it. Put your feet on the floor. Feel a beautiful column of light coming over you. And as you just feel this light, the light only just creates a space for you. Just notice the color. And just feel you are safe in the heart of God. You are perfectly safe in the heart of God. Father, Mother God, I ask that each soul feel blessed. I ask that you guide them to truth and that they know that they are safe with you. So I would invite each one of you just to open your heart and take a breath. Feel peace. Now in your mind's eye, I want you to allow yourself to go to your favorite room in your home. Just see yourself transported effortlessly to the favorite room. Could be your bedroom, your kitchen, your living room, a bathroom, any room. Could be your garage. It doesn't matter. It's your favorite room in your home. I want you to find yourself there now. Stand in the room. You could feel your angels with you. Feel the love of God. And I want you to look at the room with your spirit eyes as you look at the matter. Scan the room. Is there anything in this room that reminds me of my relationship with God? Just scan the room. Doesn't have to be a cross. Doesn't have to be a Bible. Is there anything in this room that takes me to Spirit? Look around, and when you find it, when you find anything that takes you to Spirit, open your heart and let your love go to that piece of matter. Just let your love flow to that piece of matter, whatever it is. Thank you for reminding me of God. Thank you for holding that connection with God for me. And just feel the connection with that energy of matter. Do you feel the joy of this? Can you feel a joy in your heart as you do this? Okay. Now I want you to look at the room and I want you to see, is there anything in this room that aggravates me about matter? Anything that makes me feel less than? In the very same room, in your very favorite room. Let your vision just go. Is there anything in here that aggravates me or makes me feel less than? Any matter that makes me feel like I am not Spirit? Look through the room. Most of us will find one thing. You may not. Most of us find one thing. We keep these things to remind ourselves. If you do find something, I want you to look at it. Did you find something? I want you to send your love to that piece of matter. And say, I am sorry, I forgot, you are Spirit. And there is a spiritual gift that you give me. And let your eye go to the spirit of this thing and see what it is really reminding you of. Feel the peace with it. Can you feel the peace being created? Now, the gift having been received, now you can choose to change it, leave it. It does not have the same effect because you have looked at it with the eyes of Spirit. Or just stand back in the center of the room again and just feel your energy with God. Feel a beautiful inner column of light coming over you. And Father, Mother God, we ask in the energy of our favorite room, we ask that your love enfold us, that your love bless this experience we are having in matter, that you teach us the greater things we can do. We ask to feel your love now. And just see that light flooding that inner column and just flowing out into your room. God and I are Spirit. And when it's totally filled to overflowing, say, okay. Out loud. Okay. Everybody? Take a breath. Gently let yourself come back into this chair, coming back into this chair. Feel your heart, feel God's love. But before you open your eyes, in your heart, just say, God, I want to walk in you, in your love and in your light. In you I am Spirit, and Spirit creates matter. I am Spirit, and Spirit creates matter. And we love you, God, and we thank you. Take a breath. Send your light out into the room. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. I hope you felt a connection when you saw that symbol, whatever it might have been, that reminds you of God. I hope you felt an elevation when you took that antagonistic energy and looked at it with spiritual eyes. Did you feel that change? That's how fast your perception of another can change. Just look with spiritual eyes. So, as you walk this week in preparation for next week's service, I would invite all of you, the minute anything aggravates you, be it your beloved or just something hanging on the wall, put those spiritual eyes on. Think of God. Think of God. And see if every day you can touch into the divine as you do your work. Okay? Say, yay, God.
Yay, God.